There was a time, if you wanted a motion sensor, you got a fixture that looked a lot like this. It had a motion sensor attached to it, and you stuck in your own lamps. Later on, they integrated the motion sensor to a fixture that looked somewhat like this, but you still had your own choice of what lamp went inside. Nowadays, you can get an all-in-one sensor, lamp, and housing, but they still need to be connected to house power. Today, solar-powered LED lamps exist mostly as pathway lights. If only there was a modern fixture with a built-in motion sensor that could be used like outside your garage. Thanks to the Home Depot Seeds program, we're looking at the eLEDing solar wall light with motion sensor. This unit has a 5-watt lamp, a built-in solar panel, and all-in-one wall mounting unit. So let's open the box and see what's inside. Pulling out the tabs, we find an instruction sheet, the actual product itself, 2 anchors, 2 fasteners, and a little warning sheet, or as they call it, warm tips, which is great for the winter time. It's the same thing in Spanish, also in French and Japanese. The unit, as I said earlier, is one piece with a built-in solar panel. There is a motion sensor here. It will light from dusk till dawn, but if it detects motion, then it'll go to full intensity brightness. Backside has 2 eyelets for mounting, and that's it. It is water resistant, IP65, which means you can't flood it, but it can get rained on. I noticed these 2 holes here, which look like if possibly water gets through here, they will weep out on this end. The electronics seems to be self-encased in waterproof material. And we have a diffusion strip here for the light. Only 1 button for operation. Hold down the button and the light should turn on. Then it gets bright if it detects motion, and if not, during the day, it will just turn off. There's the low motion sensation. As you see, as my finger went by, it went back to high intensity mode. So from dusk until dawn, it'll be in that low power mode, or until the battery dies out on you. If you press the button again, you can change the color temperature. So there's your white, and there's your warm color, and there's the dim and the bright mode. The unit measures just under 1 foot wide and 2 inches deep, and 4 3/4 inches tall. And don't throw the box away, because on the back side is a template that you use for mounting this unit, which shows you where to put the screw holes. By the way, the screw holes go down in the lower portion of the slot, because once you attach the unit, you want those fasteners to go up and hold the unit in place. If you put them up here and there's a ledge or something, then you're not going to be able to mount the unit. We've decided to place our solar panel between the 2 garage openings, so it's going to go on this board here. And I've checked to make sure that the fastener does not go all the way through the board into the brick. So what I did is find a center line, measured off to each of the openings on the fixture, and we're going to drill holes in that, and then everything should attach and it should be easy peasy. Here's one of the fasteners. All I'm doing is just grabbing a drill bit and making sure the drill bit is not larger than the fastener. Because we're going into wood, we only need to use the fastener. I don't need to use the anchor. The anchor will come in handy if you are going into a drywall type of material. I've allowed enough space to clear this ledge here. So I'm going to drill here, here. That's my center point. Hopefully the math works out. Now using a driver, we're going to take the fastener just short of all the way in. So the tippy top because we don't need much protruding from the wood. So we're going to leave a little bit there because I could always go in a little bit further if I need to. Now, while I know the distance from here to here, I make sure by using a level that I have the right angle so that I'm not too high or too low. We place our second screw. So we're about to mount the panel, but I laid it out in the sun for 2 days so that the panel could charge the batteries because it's shipped with the batteries depleted. Another thing to consider is when you're mounting this is that it's pointing to where the sun's going to be. So I get morning sun on this panel in this location. Ideally, your best location is a southern view. This is a eastern view. A western view will also suffice, but you get the most sunlight with a southern view. But of course, my garage isn't facing to the south, but fortunately it is facing to the east. So now we have these two openings, and there are no markings on the front of the panel to guide you. Here we go. And now I push the button in, and the unit comes on. You saw it's low intensity, which is what it would normally be from dusk to dawn, like this. And then if it detects motion, it'll come on to full brightness. And then during daylight, it should go out. Here's the finished product. Things I like about it is the fact that everything is integrated. Solar panel, motion sensor, light. The one con that I see to this unit is that the battery is inaccessible. So once it degrades, you can't just swap out a new one like you can with some other units. Basically, you'd have to just throw away the whole unit, and I think that's just a waste of a lot of material when one could have easily swapped in a replacement battery in the future. So that's the one con I have for it. Otherwise, I like the fact that it comes on at dusk until morning in a low intensity mode, and then brightens to a higher intensity mode should it detect any motion in the area. As long as this unit is mounted so it gets sufficient sunlight, you shouldn't have any problems maintaining the battery charge on this, and therefore you end up with a maintenance-free solar light panel that you don't have to really care about. The only maintenance required on this unit is occasionally wiping down the solar panel to remove dirt and grime. Here's our solar-powered light at low level, and then at a high intensity when it detects motion. If you found this video interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team, and as always, thank you ever so much for watching.